Damn. Now, a little while ago, I accidentally let slip very casually that my biggest fear is the open ocean. So, as you would imagine, I have now been flooded with comments all begging that I play Subnautica, and I've pretty much said that this is a game that I will never cover until I hit 100,000 subscribers. Well, that happened. I don't know how, thank you all so much for that, but unfortunately it now means that we need to play Subnautica. But if you'll pardon the pun, it is now time to dive into the achievements of a game that I said I would never grind. And it's a good thing, I suppose, because how else would we have moments like this? Oh my god, oh my god. Oh wait, why are you all the way out here? Oh, it's following me. Oh, get me out, get me out. Oh, I really can't do this. Leave, leave, leave now. Oh, Gordon Bennett. Please. It's going to be a long one, folks, and I am not going to be okay. So, without further ado, let's jump right into it. Welcome to the Achievement Grind. The game begins with a crash. The mothership has crashed on a strange new planet and we nearly die ourselves escaping. We eventually wake up, fix the fire and head out of the pod to get our first glimpse of the planet that we will now be calling home. It's time for the biggest jump of my career, as this is the intro officially done. With it, the game now lets you take control and start your journey of escaping, and it all starts with a single jump. Once I feel brave enough, we immediately throw our toes into the water for the first time and unlock Get Your Feet Wet. We are officially on the board, folks, and there is now no going back. Now, the premise of Subnautica is actually a fairly simple one. We just have to collect minerals and resources to be able to upgrade our equipment and our base and stuff like that, to be able to wander deeper into the ocean to find a way to get off this planet. But we need to get familiar with all of these locations and the horrible monsters that reside within them to be able to get the 100%. However, I am getting a little bit ahead of myself. For now, the start was the basics, crafting the beginning of our base, getting our first couple of tools needed and do some light exploration. So we got to work. Well, I say that, as you would imagine, progress was slow because I was still very much getting used to the terrain, and of course I was deathly afraid of everything under the waves. To begin with, we got used to the mechanics such as water, food and oxygen consumption, as well as exploring some of the small cave systems around where the base was planning to be built. But then night hit, and I'm not being funny, sod going about the ocean not being able to see a thing, so we chilled on the life pod until morning arrived. Now, considering my absolute fear, I actually think that I was getting on fairly well. I was crafting important tools like scanners and flashlights and soon felt like it was time to craft a little base to call home. Half an hour later, we had the materials to start making our dream holiday home. Now, it wasn't much to begin with, but once we put down a corridor and a hatch to enter it, we were then given our next achievement as well, with settling in for the long haul, unfortunately. Now it is time to craft the first vehicle that we will need to be able to explore the ocean proper, the Seamoth. Finding the resources and the materials that we need to create this is crucial in exploration, because without this Seamoth we won't be able to explore anywhere, so this is our first port of call. I'm also taking this off, god it's uncomfortable. Several hours went by and things were going well. Now I hadn't explored too far out, as thankfully a lot of the resources that I needed to improve my base and build were very close by. So the only scary monsters that I really had to deal with right now were the stalkers. But even I realised pretty quickly that they were almost harmless. Here we also craft the perfect addition to our base that finally made it feel like home to me. A little while longer after raiding parts of a broken ship and building a vehicle bay, we were able to craft the Seamoth and get our next achievement. We hopped on the platform, crafted our new method of transport and unlocked our next achievement, personal propulsion. This was great progress, however now with this we have no excuse to not explore, and we must now start our journey in some of the rougher regions of the ocean. So being the brave boy I am, we planned a journey and hopped inside the Seamoth to take in some more sights, and hopefully find some more achievements lying around the ocean bed. The exploration paid off quite quickly, folks, as we soon found a brand new type of biome ready for us to explore. What, you thought I was just gonna head straight down the scary hole? Please, I am far too much of a coward for that. Except that we do immediately go down the hole because chat bribed me to do it, so away we go. This pretty location is the Jelly Shroom Cave, and I was very scared heading down here for the first time. However, gunning it straight down, we actually immediately found an old habitat. But unfortunately, I forgot how important oxygen is to the working system such as mine, so yeah, we died. But feeling brave, we decided to head immediately back there and scout proper. When we explore for the second time, it goes much better. Give me you. Thank you. Oh, fuck. Finally though, we took our time and made sure death wasn't so easily achieved, and speaking of achieved, in this building we find our next achievement as well, as when we pick up this convenient PDA we also unlock the next achievement, Follow the Degasi. Now this was the first habitat that we found in the game, and considering that Subnautica only has 17 achievements, quite a lot of them revolve around finding specific bases and facilities, so know that this is going to be something that we do throughout the playthrough. However, that's not all. The most surprising turn of events though is finding that these gave me a real burst of exploration energy, and I wanted to see what else was out there. So after a brief base flooding incident, we then get a message on the radio saying that help is on the way, and to get to one of the only dry spots of land on the planet to get the hell out of here. You don't have to tell me twice, so eager to leave, we travelled straight to the location of rescue. Now on dry land for the first time, we chose to explore for the 10 minutes that we had spare, and personally I think we can get another achievement within those 10 minutes, as on this land is a ginormous alien tower thingy, and like the idiot we apparently are, we decide to explore it. Well, first we need to get in by lowering the force field. Now fortunately the gigantic rocky keycard was only a moment away, and when we added it to this door the force fields died and we unlocked ancient technologies for finding something called the enforcement platform. Wonder what this platform enforces. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Help is finally here and we are saved. Now, it turns out that this entire planet is quarantined, as there is some sort of bacterium that has been wiping out entire planets, and unfortunately, not only is it already on this planet, but by using some of the alien technology, we find out that we are infected with it. So the new plan is to cure our disease so that we can turn this alien rocket off and craft a ship to escape ourselves. However, don't fear folks, as we have another achievement, as at this base we soon find portals that can be powered with ion cubes. When we power the first and walk through, it takes us to a completely different island to explore, and on here we already have our next habitat for plundering. Unlike the last, there isn't actually that much that we can steal from this base however, so we soon find the PDA, slide it in our pocket, and unlock seaside living with an ocean view. For now though, it's back to the base to plan our next steps. Now, honestly, in between achievements and discoveries, there isn't that much to talk about in Subnautica because it is just farming for resources and materials. So for this video, I'm pretty much going to be bouncing between the important stuff that we do after we've found all the materials for things, and the next challenge that we must do is to board the Aurora again, the ship that we crashed on the planet with. And it's actually crucial that we scout this area, so that's unfortunately our next step. The only problem is that I know that there is a guaranteed Reaper Leviathan hanging out below, so getting there would probably be the biggest task yet, as I know that it would be likely that we come face to face with our first real enemy of the game. Fortunately though, we avoided the paths and managed to climb on board the Aurora without a single problem. Besides scanning for items and tools, there was actually two important tasks for us to complete here: to fix the reactor, stopping the radiation from leaking into the ocean, and to find the schematics for another mode of transport called the prawn suit. Fortunately, both went well, and since the Aurora is partly above water, thankfully there was nothing to scare me in the most cowardly way. Jesus Christ, looking at that was pathetic. However, this invasive intruder just apparently questions who we are before disappearing again, so hopefully we won't see them anytime soon. Our next achievement is here folks though, as we soon reach the reactor room that is falling apart. We equip our repair tool and put things back to exactly how they should be. When we fix the last hole and stop the radiation leak, we unlock our next achievement, Extinction Event Avoided. Moments later, we then found all of the parts to the prawn suit that we needed and called it a day on this successful mission. More hours went past as we upgraded our gear, collected rarer and rarer items. However, we arrived at the point of the game where I was pretty much stalling as much as I could. I spent hours faffing around with nothing important because I was terrified that exploring more would result in a face-to-face encounter with an underwater bastard. It was time for me to put on my big boy swimming trunks and go to the areas that scared me, and it went about as well as expected. What the fuck are you? Oh my god! Oh, what the fuck? Where's? No, nah. Bye. See you later. Fuck that. Ooh, this looks funky. Where the hell am I here? Right, bear with. I've got plenty of space. I'm assuming what I'm gonna need is my knife. I'm assuming we're gonna need to go get some of this shit. This looks fun. Oh my god, 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 oh my god. Where am I? Bye. Bye. Everyone say goodbye. Now, that may not have looked like much, but I promise you that this shook me to my absolute core. I was not okay after this interaction. With that, we then went back to the base and I spent the next 4 hours in my shell just doing other things. We had managed to give a couple of improvements to the sea moth so it could dive down deeper, as well as some equipment upgrades so we could go out for longer without oxygen and such like that. But it also wasn't a waste of time, as even though that expedition didn't go to plan, we did find the last materials that we needed to craft the prawn suit. So with hope on the horizon, we crafted our new vessel and ordered the prawn. Eventually, it was time for us to be brave again. But don't worry, there's no way that I could have been absolutely scared by something again. Ooh, is that another wreck over there? Ooh, I think we found our next little destination. Okay. That's it. You are dead, I say. Oh my god. Is that another one? Is there two? Don't worry about me. Oh my god, please go away. Oh. Something's here. Okay. Alright, yeah. You know what? I think, yeah. Whoa, my god, why did that come so close to me? Fuck off you. Oh, I really seem to have raided that when I did the best. Oh, fucking no. Alright, I'm out. Fuck this. Nah. Oh, wait. Why are you all the way out here? Oh, it's following me. Oh, get me out. Oh, I really can't do this. Leave now. Oh, Gordon Bennett. And again, folks, this absolutely destroyed me. It is the exact reason why I despise open water games. And bearing in mind, we have already sank about maybe 10 to 12 hours of progress into Subnautica at this point, and I felt like we were getting nowhere. On this channel, we are no stranger to extremely difficult grinds, extremely grindy grinds, and everything in between. However, Subnautica was the closest a game has ever got me to nearly quitting it. After these 2 encounters, I completely gave up on the idea of grinding this. I was done with it. So, I just threw the game into the corner and completely forgot about it, letting it gather dust. Honestly, it was far too much for me to be able to handle. Roughly a month later, however, Subnautica was still itching my brain. Working on other games and videos, I just could not shake the thought that a game had finally beaten me. In fact, I was working on the video just to say that. It was going to be an upload saying that I had failed an achievement grind, and realizing that, it hit me. I could not let this game beat me. I'd already experienced the worst the game had to offer, and if I play with a friend, maybe that can help take the edge off. So I set myself a challenge. I was going to spend an entire day playing this game non-stop, and I was going to get every single remaining achievement today. So, actually, a massive thank you to Ginge for helping me, because if it wasn't for your help and kindness, this grind wouldn't be done, ever. So, Ginge, thank you. So we booted up the game and we got to work. 10 minutes after booting up, we arrived at a new biome, and after a moment of plucking up some courage, we headed down to explore. We saw some new enemies, and it was honestly terrifying, but meter by meter, we did what we needed to do. And thankfully, about 10 minutes later, we set our eyes on a new habitat with an achievement lurking within. The only problem is that it's defended by 2 giant crab squid thingies. This was truly the moment. If I could fight past this obstacle, then there isn't anything that I can't push past. So we went for it. The noises were torture and my heart shattered, but once inside we found the PDA that we needed for the achievement Sea Monsters. But seconds earlier you may have seen me pick up an egg, and this is also crucial for our next achievement, so we raced home to complete it. This was a huge win in my eyes, and I really know that it may not look like much, but bearing in mind that this is my worst phobia that I'm tackling here, and it really wasn't easy. However, soon I would discover the reward for doing so. Our next achievement has us hatch the creature egg that we found in the base. It is easy enough to do. We craft a pod, place them inside, and just wait for them to hatch, simple as. However, I wasn't expecting the creature to hatch to be such a cute bastard. I would die for them, and we named him the Leggy Egg. The achievement is for taking him from this irksome confinement and releasing him to the wild. The Leggy Egg is free, and we unlock man's best friend. Oh, and the reason why the Leggy Egg is such a perfect companion is because you can play games with him. How cool is that? And just so you know that I mean this sincerely when I say that I would die for him. And this little bastard is now my motivator and fuel that I need to complete this game, so let's crack on. Now, before we head into the worst zones in the game, that being the Lost River and the Lava Zone, I wanted to create the final biggest vehicle so that I could do whatever I wanted in the best way. And since I found the last parts in a recent scavenge trip, it's time to find the last couple of materials and build this colossal beast. During this, I also started to build the rocket platform to get off this rock as well, as doing this during the campaign instead of trying to do it all at the end will save you a bunch of time. About 10 minutes later though, we had all of the resources that we needed and were finally able to craft the Cyclops, unlocking 40-foot sub for one. And it's not kidding, this bitch is a beefy unit. Time to find the Lost River. Once we got down there, the fear once again set in as we began to explore, searching for our next base and achievements. Now, I was terrified, but thankfully we actually found the base rather quickly. Once inside the entrance, we unlock the next achievement, Follow the Lost River. Now, there isn't anything really of note in this base, however it does give us a clue on where to go next, so we began exploring again, eventually finding the next horrible landmark, the Lava Zone. The deepest parts of the ocean that we needed to explore were here, and in here are more monsters and plenty more opportunities for death. So cautious, we carried on. After mining some extremely rare materials, we pressed on once again, encountering a new friend, the sea dragon Leviathan. Oh my god. There it is. Ginger.
Maybe save.
Oh, no. Oh. Thinking of saving, are we, boy? Fuck you. Oh, God. Ginger, I don't like it. I really don't. Hello, sweetie! So manly. Reaction aside, we once again have more bases to find and explore. Eventually, we plummet down more and the ghostly vision hits us once again. The ghost says that it actually wants to help us though, and it's the perfect timing, as we have found the next base that we need, the thermal facility, and once inside, we unlock thermal activity. Folks, this was huge progress, and we were really making some decent traction now. In the base, there is some equipment that we'll need to open up the primary containment facility, and that is our next adventure. Fortunately, it was also in the Lava Zone, so we didn't have to travel long to find it and go inside. This is easily the biggest facility yet, with a ton of portals to around the world, scannable items, and most importantly, we find a friend. And finally, I actually mean a real friend, as the Leviathan that has been sending us messages emerges and we meet for the first time. The Leviathan says that it needs help hatching its young and they want to leave the facility to explore the ocean as a big creature should. She takes us to the eggs of her young and says that if we help hatch them, then she will help us cure the disease. She also says that for some reason the water in this zone is really weird, as it turns out that all of the enemies within are non-hostile, which is wonderful. When we power up the eggs hatching grounds, we also unlock our next achievement, 14,000 Leagues Under the Sea. And with that, we now only have 3 achievements left to go. We have found every base and facility that we need. We have crafted every vehicle that we've needed to. The last 3 achievements has us escaping the planet, leaving a time capsule, and next, getting rid of the disease. And folks, I cannot stress how determined that I was to get this game wrapped up and finally completed. Now, to hatch these eggs and to get the cure, we need to travel through the 4 portals in the base and find 5 rare items to construct the liquid needed to break them free. And thankfully, this was actually really easily done. The ingredients that you need are only within a few minutes of going through the portals, so you never really have to travel far. And for the most part, they were completely safe to get. Half an hour later, we had every ingredient that we needed and the hatching liquid was in our hands. We went back to the birthing grounds and every egg opened beautifully. The mother thanks us and we find out that the cure that we need is actually what the children Leviathan throw up. As moments later we see one chuck its guts up and our immediate reaction is, oh, let me get in some of that. Once we've rubbed sick all over us, we cure ourselves and unlock the next achievement, Optimal Health. And like that, we are at the final task, folks, to simply leave. We immediately travel back to our base and spend the next hour farming every item that we need to complete the rocket. And having spent so much time down in the Lost River and the Lava Zone, we actually already had a lot of what we needed. And honestly, there isn't really anything here to say. Once we complete the farming journey, we constructed every part of the rocket that we needed. However, I nearly made a massive mistake. I was so keen on leaving this planet that I completely forgot that I needed to shut the gun down, as right now it will just blow us completely out of the sky. So thankfully, realizing before it was too late, we hopped back to the alien base, got stabbed by Doc Ock's missing arm, and when it gave us a clean bill of health, the facility shut down and we were home free. We hopped on board our lovely named ship, made sure to drop a time capsule as we launched, and sat down in the captain's seat. The game is complete, folks. We unlocked Leave Only Time Capsule and Go Amongst the Stars for finally leaving this hellhole. The final shots of this game has us blast into orbit and travel the skies again. Pretty irresponsible of us, because surely even though we've cured the bacteria, it will still linger on the ship and the equipment and everything like that, but I guess that's not for us to worry about. The game ends with a final motivational speech from the Leviathan that we helped, and folks, that's Subnautica. Folks, I have never played a game like Subnautica. I did not expect this to be the game that really nearly beat me, but it is the closest a game has ever got. I just didn't think that I had the confidence to explore and deal with the dangers in the ocean, but not only was I able to, the fact that I was able to finish every single last achievement in a single sitting just felt majestic and wonderful. And I don't mean to be cringe, but I was really proud of myself for doing this. Open water is my biggest fear and I do not handle it well. So the idea of me 100%ing this game finally, I just felt wonderful. And it makes me feel even so much more wonderful to be able to say that for now, folks, the grind is over. Honestly, Subnautica was something else, and totally an experience that I was not expecting, as even though this has been the most scared I have ever been playing a game, I also can't deny that it was absolutely fantastic. I often accidentally found myself really having fun with this, and it's actually a fairly easy game to 100% depending on your relationship with the ocean. There were some things that I wasn't a fan about, such as the fact that there was no map of anything. Getting lost is so easy in this game, but I suppose it's a small complaint. I really enjoyed my time with Subnautica when I wasn't crying into a pillow, so let's just get straight to the stats. For Subnautica, it took us a whopping 36 hours to grind all 17 achievements that come with the game. And that means for Subnautica, I'm going to be giving it a wonderful rating of 8.5. This game blew me away in more ways than one, but the fact that I really did enjoy myself whilst I was playing it really cemented how good this game is, because if I'm the most scared that I've ever been and I'm still having fun, you've got a winner there, you really do. However, for the achievements, I'm a little bit conflicted, because I personally would give this a 5 out of 10, but I'm terrified of the ocean. Objectively, I think a 2.5 or a 3 would be more than justified for this game. It just completely depends on your relationship with the ocean. If you struggle with water, it will take longer and be harder. If you don't, you'll probably whack this out in 20 hours. So weirdly enough, it completely depends on yourself. For me as well, I would say that the hardest achievement would be the one to cure your infection. For doing this, you will have to do pretty much everything in the game, build everything that there is, explore all there is to explore, as it's one of the last things that you do. But I didn't want to just give the achievement to one for beating the game, so I will say curing the infection probably takes the most. However, folks, there we go, that is Subnautica. Sorry it took me so long to get this out, but fear is a bitch, but I hope you enjoyed my suffering all the same. And also, don't forget to like and subscribe, as we'll be starting below 0 when we hit 200,000 followers. So I need your help to get there. Whilst you're at it as well, why don't you swing by the Twitch where we go for the achievement grinds live? It would be absolutely lovely to have you watch and help in my suffering. And a special shout out to the Patreon followers as well. I am pleased to say that the Patreon is about to receive a huge overhaul and a bunch more behind the scenes content, so feel free to check it out if you are so inclined. However, that is it from me today, everybody. Thank you all again so much for watching, and I really hope to see you all soon. Take care, everybody. Bye bye for now.